Here's how to make $2.5 million in a month with effective goal setting. So my name's Anthony Taylor. I'm the CEO at SME Strategy. And today I want to talk to you about how to use goal setting to drive performance and how it can turn into real ROI for you. So a month ago, I was in Los Angeles doing a strategic plan review with somebody, and we were talking about their goals, what they needed to accomplish. And one of their most important goals was under recruitment, recruiting revenue generating people for their businesses. And they said, okay, well, we need more of them. And so after pressing it, said, hey, what does more look like? What does good look like? We set a target, and I said, okay, well, how important is it for you to set this goal? And I said, well, if we accomplish this goal to the degree that we want, that we could make basically $12 million out of it, because each person that we bring into our organization, revenue generating employee, it's about 600,000 per employee. And I checked in with them today, and they said, well, we've actually recruited 5 of them. And so if you do the math, that's about $2.5 million because they were able to get the right people that they needed to drive it forward. Now, what was the difference? They knew that they needed it this entire time. We're working for months and months and months. The difference was that they set a specific target, they set a specific deadline, and they had a good enough motivator to move it across the line. Often when teams approach their strategic plans and they have things like objectives, which are qualitative, they say, okay, we need more of these. We need a lot of these. We need less of these. And they're conceptual, and nobody really knows what to do or how much of it that they need to do. And so why SMART goals are super powerful to drive performance is because you know what good looks like. You know what bad looks like, and you know that there's some sort of threshold or tipping point from good to bad. And you know that if you have a longer term goal or any time frame goal, then you know that there's stage gates that you have to meet to drive it forward. It's specific, it's clear, and everybody knows what winning looks like, and everybody knows what failure looks like. So people don't like failure, so they're more inclined to do the work that's required to move that forward. Now, if there's a chance at failing, they're likely to take the tasks and do the actions that need to drive it forward. If there's no chance at failing, then they probably won't do the work because there's nothing at stake. So why you need SMART goals is actually to introduce the possibility of failure and success. If you're feeling like your strategic plan hasn't been successful, then consider you don't have the right SMART goals, the right measurements in place to actually know if your plan is a success. Everything is conceptual, everything is open to interpretation, and no one actually knows what's needed to be done to drive the outcome. I was talking to somebody recently, and they said, we're reporting on our key measure. Our key measure is, monthly subscribers. And I said, well, that's great. And say, how's it going? I said, well, no, it's not going well because everybody thinks it's doom and gloom and we're failing on it. And I say, okay, well, do you know what you need to do to drive those subscribers? And you say, no, we don't. I say, well, then you need different goals. If you just track the outcome and you only look at the outcome and you say, well, it's always going to feel like we're unsuccessful because we're not tracking, or we're not clear about what we need to do. And that's where you have to have both leading and lagging indicators. The lagging indicator is historic. It's looking backwards. You're always going to be playing from behind. Leading indicators, when you have that balance of goal, helps you understand what are the actions that we need to take to X degree to be able to get the outcome that we want. I can't control how many points I've scored, but I can control how many shots I take. I can't control how much revenue I make, but I can control how many sales meetings I have or how many cold calls you make. And so when you're setting your goals, make sure that you have SMART goals so you know what failure and success are, but also make sure you have a good balance of leading and lagging indicators. If you're able to put that in place and you're able to get clear about the ROI of hitting your goals, then you should have enough ingredients to make your team successful, to make your team bought into the strategy, and to have them understand the connection between the actions that are required and the outcomes that you're looking for. If any of those things are unclear, you got to go back to the goal drawing board to make sure that they're clear, they're actionable, and ultimately that they tie forward to your vision. If you don't have any of those things, then our team would be happy to go over them with you as part of your strategic plan review or as part of your implementation support. So if you're looking to drive performance in your organization, make sure you include SMART goals. both that tie to the strategic outcomes that you want, but as well as the operational initiatives that are driving forward the day-to-day. If you have those things and they're aligned to the vision, you're going to be much closer towards hitting the outcomes that you want and having a team that's moving forward in the same direction. So I hope that helps you think of SMART goals better. Let me know what you've used in the past to drive that forward. And as I mentioned earlier, if you're looking for some support with implementing that in your organization, be sure to reach out to us either for your next strategic planning session, if you'd like a facilitator, or to support the implementation of an existing plan. We might have to go back and retool some things, but it's better it's done now than later when you realize it's not going to work. So thanks for watching. My name's Anthony Taylor, and we'll talk to you next time.